On the very first day, the trade wind blew from the chilly Antarctic. There was no one who could teach us how to maneuver an Inca raft, and we had to learn by trial and error from the very first day at sea. All day long, 2 hands were required at a time to hold the steering oar in position. But as we got to know the raft and its characteristics, we discovered that all we needed to do was to lash the helm and the raft would steer itself. After this, we had no major problems in handling the Kon-Tiki, as long as the weather was stable. From now on, it was the duty of the man at the helm to keep an eye on the lashings and to make the necessary adjustment if there was a change of the wind, so that our raft at all times presented her stern to wind and wave. We had a female on board. Her name was Lorita, and she was a South American parrot. The first few days, Lorita, in common with one member of the crew, was seasick, but after 4 days, both of them were excellent sailors. Shipping a little water makes no difference, as it all runs out through the gaps between the logs. The advantage of a raft is simply that water pours out just as quickly as it pours in. We had to make sure that the raft always presented her stern to the wind. If we lay a beam to the wind, our bamboo hut would be awash. As long as the sail filled with a following wind, the raft would ride the waves and float like a cork. Failure to react with the steering oar when the wind backed or veered would result in the square sail jibbing. We'd then have to work the heavy steering oar and wrestle with the sail to bring the raft back on course. Otherwise, the sail would flap violently against the bamboo hut. At night, we were always lashed down to prevent being knocked overboard by the sail. The logs were always slippery, and we had no guardrail, and there'd nearly always be a shark following in our wake. In the end, the Kon-Tiki would gracefully submit and continue calmly her way with the wind astern. She never made any attempt to turn back.